Chinese family adopts a Tibetan Mastiff Pup who grew up to be something much bigger than they had expected. Animal lovers have a different place for animals in their hearts. They just cannot see anyone suffering. Well, this story revolves around one such animal lover, whose only mistake was that she couldn't resist being an abandoned pup in pain. That's how it all started in the first place. But isn't adopting animals a good thing? Yes, it is one good thing to happen, but not in this case. Wondering why? Because Su Mou faced some surprising consequences of adopting what she called a man's best friend. Maybe because sometimes all one needs to do is to take a closer look to get a clear view of reality. Su Mou is a resident of Kunming City, Yunnan, China. She has been living there most of her life. Her kids always insist on getting a pet, but so far the entire family was quite busy and nobody can look after an additional being for all time. Even though she was an animal lover herself, Su knew that adopting a dog will be an add-on full-time job. She was waiting for the right time to adopt a pet. 2 years back, the Mou family was finally ready for it. Su Mou planned a fun vacation for her family, but little did she know that she will end up welcoming a new member to her family. What started as a chilled laid-back trip to a nearby holiday destination came to decision-making point where Su Mou was supposed to either say yes to her kids' request and accept the change or let things be as they have always been. Well, it seemed like a simple decision at first, but it was going to have a huge impact on their whole family. On the second day of their trip, the Mou family decided to go out for a walk on the beach side. The couple was enjoying a peaceful sunset and their kids were playing nearby. Su Mou was talking to her husband, and when she again looked towards the horizon and noticed that her kids weren't playing there, she looked for them here and there, but the kids were out of her sight. Where did they go? The couple immediately got worried, which was an obvious thing to happen. They looked for them and decided to go in opposite directions. Su Mou couldn't find them anywhere on her side of the beach and was unaware of the fact that her husband already saw the kids before she saw them. Before she could take a breath of relief, there was something in the kids' hands that she noticed. The younger one was petting a little pup that the elder one was holding in his arms. It was the pup behind whom they ran and went far away, out their parents' sight. The pup seemed extremely hungry and the family decided to take it to the hotel. The kids got connected with the little one and weren't ready to let the pup go. The kids made an honest request to their mother to let them take the pup with them. Su Mou has been thinking about adopting a dog from quite a few months, as bringing a pet home would keep the kids engaged most of the time and give them a sense of responsibility. Su gave in to the requests of her kids and they eventually adopted the pup. Su Mou told her kids that she was ready to adopt the pup if the kids will agree to take him out for a walk on a daily basis, bathe him on a weekly basis, and take the responsibility of its food and all. Out of excitement, the kids instantly agreed to their mom's terms and conditions, and Su too was happy to see that her kids were happy. So, this is how the Mou family added a new member to their home and to their family. Su and her family were returning home with a pup they just named Little Black, as he had thick black fur and even darker eye color. They were all excited but unaware as to what will happen in the short span of 2 years. Su felt like it was a black Tibetan Mastiff, popularly known as the Himalayan dog. No doubt he became kids' favorite among the neighborhood. Su Mou took him out and gave him a few months' time to get familiar with his new surroundings, which he did. Tibetan Mastiff is the species one can find in abundance in the country, especially in the rural areas. Several years ago, this breed was said to be one of the most desired as well as most expensive dog breeds, but they have become a big issue in the Qinghai province these days. There were more than 500 stray mastiffs in the area a couple of years back. Definitely, dogs enjoy eating, but Little Black enjoyed eating more than the rest. He was always hungry. It looked like a result of the deficiency that the pup might have faced throughout his early age before the family adopted him. So far, everything seemed to be normal, but that's not how it was going to be after some time. Everyone was glad to see the instant improvement in the pup's health. When they brought him home, he was a little weak pup, but as soon as Su Mou started giving him a good healthy diet, he quickly started to gain weight. Su was overwhelmed to see Little Black was adapting to the new environment without any difficulty. All they wanted was to see their Little Black grow up as a healthy, huge Tibetan Mastiff. And this didn't seem impossible after noticing his daily diet. He was showing incredible growth rate. Black Little was growing, and Su knew it was a normal thing to happen for young pups to grow rapidly in the first year, but she had never seen a dog growing with that speed. But then their pup loved eating, and maybe that was the only reason behind this extraordinary growth. The family kept on fulfilling his appetite without doubting anything, but things will soon be going out of their hands. Su Mou got a little suspicious when one of their relatives told them something about Little Black that didn't fit right. Little Black was growing faster when compared to other dogs. She was a little curious, but not enough to do some research. She was keeping calm just like her husband, as their kids were happy with Little Black, and that's what mattered. Su went in the backyard of her home and noticed something strange about Little Black. For a moment he didn't even look close to what we can call a dog. Her heart skipped a beat when she noticed a huge black creature standing like a human. As soon as she switched on the lights, she noticed it was Little Black standing on 2 feet. The first thought that crossed her mind was that dogs might act like that at times. However, they never train Little Black to stand on 2 feet. How can he just stand like that? At that moment, Little Black didn't look like a dog, but something much wilder than a dog can ever be. The family was noticing that Little Black's capacity was much more than what they were feeding him. As Little Black turned 1 year old, his hunger became almost impossible to be satisfied. As Su Mou later recalled that he used to eat more than a box of fruits and 2 buckets of noodles every day. The family still continued feeding Little Black for next year. By the time he turned 2, the dog was 3 feet tall and was weighing more than 250 pounds. He was way bigger than the other dogs. The kids and even Su Mou used to get scared of him sometimes. This was weird because no matter how big a dog grew, they loved to be treated like babies, but Little Black seemed to grow a little more dominating. This wasn't all, as there were more unusual things to happen. As Little Black was growing, his features were changing too. His teeth grew bigger than usual. Su was still thinking that the reason behind it was his extra large size, that he had those huge sharp teeth. This was bothering her, but not as much the other facts. What was really bothering her was that Little Black used to stand on his hind legs instead of using his paws to walk. Instead of struggling while trying to stand, Little Black looked so comfortable in that posture, as if he was born with it, just like humans. At first, everyone was amused to see Little Black growing bigger than other dogs, but when they walked in the backyard and saw him walking on his hind legs, they couldn't help but get terrified and worried about the kids. Su never noticed that she never heard Little Black barking. In the beginning, they all thought that he was just scared and a silent little pooch, but as he grew, Little Black started to roar and growl. With every passing month, he started to look less of a dog and more of something wild. Su stated, the more he grew, the more like a bear he looked. Su and her family eventually faced the reality that Su wasn't a pet dog but a wild bear. Although everyone was emotionally attached to the dog, they were scared of the fact that he could anytime show his wild side, which can even cost them their family's life. Little Black was already too big to be handled, and Su was clueless with what should be done next. Su was thinking about what steps should be taken. Meanwhile, she went to feed Little Black and the situation slipped out of her hands. She freaked out, and even though she knew that she has unknowingly conducted a crime, she called the local police and the animal rescue team too. The authorities of the Yilian County Forest Public Security Bureau reached to her home as quickly as possible, and after looking at Little Black, they knew that Su wasn't lying. Su knew that domesticating a wild animal was a serious crime and that she was big trouble now, but she had to save her kids from the threat of living with a bear in their backyard. I am a little scared of bears, Su accepted while giving her statement to the police officers. She admitted that she couldn't understand that Little Black was actually a bear cub, not a pup. They informed her what she knew, that it was prohibited to domesticate wild animals and that she had violated the laws and regulations as per forest public security propaganda. When the authorities walked inside the backyard, Little Black was busy eating his routine meals. They immediately told the family that it was an Asiatic black bear. That's how the family finally got to know what species they have been petting all these years. Su later recalled, at the time, it was said that it was only a small Tibetan Mastiff. After taking it home, it has been used as a Tibetan Mastiff. Later, the bigger the more like a black bear. But what was a bear cub doing on the beachside? Asiatic black bears are specifically found in parts of Asia, and that's all. This species is omnivorous and have a thick brownish or blackish fur. They're just one thing that makes them easily identifiable. Asiatic black bears are popularly known as the Tibetan bears, Himalayan bears, and even moon bears at times. The feature that makes them different from other species is a white color line over their chest that looks like a moon when they walk on their hind legs, and that's how they got the latter name, which is moon bear. It was an embarrassing moment for Su and her family. She has been raising a wild animal without even having the slightest idea about it. And by the time they got to know what was wrong, Su was a grown-up bear. Also, she was worried if the authorities were planning on taking an action against her or not. Although I was a little afraid of the black bear, I have been raised for 2 years and have feelings. I know that after the black bear, I am afraid that if I am hurt, I will raise the broth and fruit every day, said Su Mou. Little Black was taken from the house and Su was given a strict warning by the officials. Little Black was transferred to the Yunnan Wild Rescue Center for medical tests and examinations. This isn't the first case where someone misunderstood a black bear for a pooch. The Forest Public Security reminds the public that all animals belonging to the state to protect animals. Whether hunting, killing, domestication, reproduction, sale, etc., need to obtain a permit before they can be implemented. Otherwise, it is illegal and the light will be made by the Wildlife Protection Department. Administrative punishment may be a serious crime. At the same time, there are still major security risks, stated the authorities' representative.